Hi, we're going to make some Quilt as you go hexes today. I'm using plain hexie templates. As you see, this one is 2.25 inch. That's my background one. And this is my foreground one. It's 1.75 inches. I like to have a good 3/4 inch difference between the background and the foreground. That gives you plenty of space to roll that background forward, leaving you a nice 1/4 inch seam. I'm just going to find my picture in my hexie on my piece of fabric before I cut, laying it out nicely and designing it so that I get a nice centered piece of fabric in the foreground. So using my rotary cutting mat makes it a lot easier, and I've got a nice picture there of my little Dutch boy and girl. Just going to do some more, just some quick cuts, and as you see, rotary cutting board comes in so handy with this one. Yeah, so almost done. Beautiful. So I've got a white one and a blue one. That's pretty little cow and chicken. So for the background, what I like to do is cut strips of the fabric and then usually place the background onto it, cut it back to the right size and lay my template back on it and cut it out. This is not a unique system. I have seen plenty of people doing this, but it works. So I've done a couple of layers there, I think 2. So yeah, and we are ready to start putting them together. So as you see, they fit nicely there, but we also still need some batting. So quickly, just using the foreground template again, the smaller one, to cut some batting. The batting needs to be the same size as your actual foreground piece of fabric. Okay, so there we go. We have everything we need to start putting our hexie together. Now I like to use my ironing board to do all of this. I've got a felt wool ironing pad, so I lay everything down. I use a magic pin and I pierce it straight into the mat, and that holds everything nice and firm. Rolling the seam right to the edge and then rolling it over the edge. And I pin again straight into the mat, roll the next seam, and that creates a nice little mitered corner. I pin those 2, and then I pin the 3rd one. I like to go in a certain order. I find if I try and do it in the other direction, I get all flustered. Throw the iron over it, quick shot of steam, and yep. So then I unpin these, except for the center pin, and I can rotate my entire block doing this. I do leave a little bit of a crease in the middle, and that's more because of how the pin's sitting, but that will come out once I've sewn it and given it a good crease. Sorry, good steam iron. Okay, so just one more edge to do. Quickly throw some steam on it again. And you'll see once I'm done, I've got all 6 edges rolled nicely, and just giving them that quick shot of steam helps them to hold into place. Once I've done that last shot of steam, you'll see I have a lovely pieced hexie, all of the edges around the. So I've got my ironed piece and I'm going to stitch it down. I'm going to machine stitch these ones and I'm going to do it with a decorative stitch. So just show you, I'm using the tulip stitch and I want the tulips on the outside and the stems on the inside. So I'm going to lay it down, but I find when I'm actually sewing these, if I sew them face up, I get distracted. I am going to flip it over and just make sure I keep the seams in as I go along. So I'm just going to place that in, push that thread through, and I've made my stitch a little bit shorter, or narrower I should say, than what the original stitch is. So I'm leaving myself just a little bit of space just at the edge of the inside of the foot. I'm using the walking foot because I am working with something thick and difficult, and I'm going to take it from here. So I'm going to start stitching. From memory, I get 4 flowers to each row and then I pivot. Okay. Two stitches along the base and pivot. So you can see there I've already got 4 nice little tulips, and let's go for it. I might have done one too many there, but that's okay. Here we go. Pivot, and we've still got a nice edge. Once again, pivot. I'm just going to go all the way through here doing the same thing. Okay, cut my thread, trim my excess threads from the beginning, and there you go. All nicely stitched up. Very pretty. Of course not perfect. I'm not a professional quilter. I am just someone who absolutely loves doing this stuff. And for me, I think that's pretty good. So now, if I want to join these two together, I just have to find a stitch that isn't too intrusive on the tulips. I'm just wondering which one to do. I might just try this one. Oh, that's not the one I was after. Oh, no, definitely not. 178. Okay, I'll give this one a shot.
It's a bit of an S curve. Let's see how it goes. Let's pop these under together. I'm popping them in right on the edge so the needle goes right in at the end of that one. Oh, wish me luck. Oh, maybe this stitch really isn't the best. Hang on. Okay, so I'm just going to do a basic herringbone, but I'm going to make it a little bit narrower than normal because I don't want it to eclipse everything. It looks pretty good. You can see my needle moving closer towards the middle as I get this stitch smaller. 3.5 seems to be good. And drop my needle, and I'm going to give it a go. And I'm just going to keep these two pieces together, going through the center of my foot. Not too big, not too wide a stitch. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. And what I can do is just attach all of those like that until I've got a nice assortment.
So I went away, had a little bit of a play, and this is what I came up with, a little placemat, which is totally reversible. I hope you enjoyed and come back for some more next time. Thank you for sharing with me. Bye.